I don't know about you, but I like going to the ocean to watch the waves. I find the endless breaking of the waves on the sand just totally mesmerizing. It's funny because often the paddler in me kicks in, and I think about what would it be like to paddle in the waves. And don't get me wrong, as much as I like the waves, I have an incredible respect for their power. Water is so heavy, and each wave brings a crazy amount of power and energy, even if the waves are small. It seems to me that challenges can come in waves. A challenge here and there is okay, but when they come wave after wave after wave, even the small ones can take us down. A string of small challenges can wear us down and keep us from regaining our footing, and they can overwhelm us. As I talk to many people, the waves of this past year have emotionally and physically drained them. The health fears because of COVID, the struggling to find the things we need in the midst of limited resources, the societal change and unrest, all of these and many others have really created, I think, in many ways, micro traumas, just little small traumas. And these things have taken an emotional and physical toll on us. Alone, they'd be manageable, but there's a sense that altogether, they're overwhelming. I was thinking about this topic and I was thinking about how the book of Psalms is full of imagery of waves and stormy waters that challenge the people of God. Yet in so many of the Psalms and many other scriptures, there's a portrait of God who is with us in the midst of these challenges. Psalm 46, one of my favorite Psalms, describes the earth as giving way with waters that roar and foam. It ends with the Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. This is the psalm that inspired Martin Luther with the famous hymn, A Mighty Fortress is Our God. Another psalm, Psalm 93, says, The floods have lifted up, O Lord. The floods have lifted up their voice. The floods lift up their roaring. Mightier than the thunder of many waters. Mightier than the waters of the sea. The Lord on high is mighty. In the midst of the storms of life, we have a Lord who is mighty, who's powerful. In the men's study this past week, we were looking at John 14, and in that chapter, Jesus is preparing his disciples for his departure. And as he's talking with them, he tells them that on his leaving, he'll send the Helper, the Holy Spirit, who will be with them, but also with us. The truth is that as believers, we should have a steady comfort and hope, knowing that we're supported on all sides by the presence of God. But we also have the Holy Spirit in us as a comforter, as a teacher. Unfortunately, life is full of never-ending trials. Until we cross over to glory, these trials will always be with us. We might not be able to stop the waves, but we do have a say in how we fare in the middle of them. We're spiritual, emotional, physical beings, and care of our body, our mind, and our soul are things that we need to be about and taking care of. As a church, we can't do these for you, but what we want to do is help create a culture where we're caring for each other, we're supporting each other, and we're helping each other experience God's presence and victory in the midst of the storms of life. Psalm 46 starts with this verse: God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear. My hope for you is that you experience the Lord's presence as the waves of life crash into you, and that together we'll help each other be strong, to walk with Him and trust Him in the midst of the storms.